Episode 9 begins right where Episode 8 left off, August of 2021. And I know what you're thinking. Dave, something doesn't add up. It's 2023. Yes it is. There were a few months in late 2021 and early 2022 when either we or family members had COVID and we were unable to do any work. Also, since we were already living in the existing part of the house, whenever we completed a certain milestone, sometimes work just stopped for a little bit, until the next milestone was started and completed. By August, we had already started electrical. As with many projects, this is something that was done after work and at weekends. I ran a temporary vent from the hood range, which exited out into a soffit vent. It was very difficult to record footage while doing the work myself, so I'm not showing everything here. And about a month later, we were ready for our rough-in inspection. With the electrical roughed in, we were now ready for the concrete and the addition basement. The concrete truck chute only reached so far, so the rest of the concrete was brought in with wheelbarrows. I installed a security camera in the basement because up to this point we didn't have a door in that opening over there. It's incredible to see how meticulously these guys worked during the course of this pour. This pour only took them an hour and a half using the wheelbarrow method. The crew had finished pouring the concrete by about 8:30 in the morning. The finisher came back at about 10 a.m. He continued to work throughout the day over the course of the next 6.5 hours, finishing the concrete. This was clearly someone who had a lot of experience and pride in their work. After the concrete cured for a bit, we began to build the little 2x4 wall that was going to support the staircase landing and one of the corners of the addition. This wasn't a direct load, but more of a cantilever. We then built a shorter version of the same thing. This went on top of the landing and right below the floor. I jacked up the floor, making sure everything was level. It was now time to cut off the extra long floor joist, which had been holding this corner up until this point. We were finally ready to install the 72 by 80 inch French door. I ended up purchasing 3 of these French doors, 1 for myself and 2 for a friend. Home Depot was selling them on clearance for about $300. These are aluminum clad wooden doors, so they will last a long time in the harsh upstate winters. A few days later, my dad stopped by and cut out the opening for the sliding door that will lead onto the deck. As some of you might recall, we had framed in a header in there when we were building this wall. That same day, my dad installed the ledger for the deck, which is 13.5 feet long. This will be the width of our deck. At this point in time of the story, 7 months have gone by since the last clip of my dad finishing up the siding on that wall. Not much has been done to the house physically, but a lot of work has been put in to progress to the next steps. We were ready for plumbing, and when I started looking into quotes for plumbing, as soon as people heard the words addition 750 square feet, everyone was giving us price quotes of between $6,000 to $10,000. This was way out of our budget, as we wanted something much cheaper. I'm sure everyone does. In my county in central New York, you need to have a licensed plumber do plumbing work on an addition. This is not something you can do yourself, unless you get a homeowner's permit. Now, a homeowner's permit is something the county can give you if you prove to them that you know what you're doing. So, I started purchasing all the code books that are applicable in my county, and I started working on a design. This is the layout of the addition, and there's a lot going on. We've got a toilet here, a double vanity, freestanding tub, custom shower, washer dryer, we've got a sink here, a toilet here, and a sink here. A few things changed. We ended up not having a sink in the laundry, and then the position of this toilet and vanity were swapped. The toilet was put here, and the vanity will go here. When I started researching plumbing on YouTube, I ran into a channel called Hammerpedia. They don't have that many videos on their channel, but they have guides on their website. Here's how to plumb 17 different styles of bathrooms. This was mind-blowing to me because this was everything I needed to try to tackle this project. Each bathroom layout has 4 different angles of what it looks like. In addition to the different views, it literally lists every type of connector that's needed to complete this particular bathroom. This was just incredible. When it comes to the price quotes of $6,000 to $10,000, $49 is nothing. The next thing you know, I've got my code book open, I've got Hammerpedia, and this is what I came up with. This is a 3D model of the plumbing in the addition. Now, this isn't exactly what it turned out to be. There were a few changes. For example, as I had mentioned, the vanity was swapped with the toilet, so that some of the plumbing changed a little bit here, but most of this stayed the same. The beauty of doing this in SketchUp is it allows you to build everything to scale. Even things such as appliances, I was able to place them in and see how it would look. Not only did I build this model, but I also tagged every type of connector and pipe to the best of my ability. When I went to my county's plumbing department and presented them my proposal and basically said, hey, I know nothing about plumbing, here's what I learned, here's the plan I designed, here's every connector. To my surprise, they gave me the homeowner's permit. This means I no longer have to spend the $6,000 to $10,000 on a plumber. I only have to buy the material myself and do the work. The code enforcement officers implicitly told me that I could not have any licensed plumber work on this and have me sign it off as this is my work. This work I had to do myself. They did say that a family member could help out, so this was the next project my dad and I tackled. Here we have 2 drains from the sinks. They go this way. Here's the drain from the toilet. And then here's the drain from the shower. If we follow this line over here, here's the drain from the toilet, and next to it is the drain for the washing machine. And if we go back over here, we follow this line, and then it goes into this hole that we drilled. And then this is the other side of that wall. We have 2 connections. One, we will eventually connect the existing kitchen to that, and to this connection, there might be a laundry in this area in the future. And then this pipe goes underground. In order to connect the new sewage line to the existing sewage line, we needed to clear out a 4-foot section of the existing floor and concrete. This meant a lot of jackhammering, shoveling, and excavating of dirt and crushed up concrete. This pipe seen in the video now is from the old septic system that used to exist in this house in 1958. This entire process produced a lot more debris than I thought would be possible. So we've got this trench dug more or less to the depth that we want. We're gonna have to touch it up a little bit. Then as we go into the old bathroom, here's the existing plumbing right now. We are going to be removing all this cast iron and replacing it with PVC up to about here. Before gluing all the pipe, we roughly laid everything out approximately where it was going to go. We brought in gravel during the gluing process to ensure that the pipe dries at the exact level it's supposed to be at. This bathroom will be the fourth bathroom of the house. It used to have a toilet that was above the concrete. We took the opportunity while we were excavating this to move the toilet down into the level of the floor. One of these lines is the 3-inch vent, the other one is the existing toilet in the house. After passing the rough-in inspection for plumbing, we filled in the trench with concrete. We've passed rough electrical inspection, and then just today we passed the plumbing and the frame inspection. Now it's time to install the insulation on the exterior walls. And of course, before putting up the insulation, we made sure to install rafter vents. After completing the first floor, we were then ready to move on to the basement. This wall is only partially submerged underground, so we painted the section that was submerged with a waterproof sealant. We then began to construct and put up the 2x4 wall. After adding 4 outlets and running power to them, we were ready to insulate the wall. In order to add insulation to this wall, we needed to cut off the staircase and offset it by 3.5 inches. A 2x4 wall was then framed up, and insulation was put in place. That same day, we went out and purchased the first batch of 16 by 4 foot sheetrock. Since my trailer was only 8 feet long, we had to make this makeshift extension. The biggest benefit of using 16-foot sheetrock is that you have less seams than if you were to use 8-foot sheetrock. We were able to borrow this drywall lift from a friend, and it was instrumental in getting this job done quickly. The shop room definitely came in handy here as well. Before blowing in the insulation, I made sure to complete all the Ethernet runs that I wanted. This consisted of wireless access points, security cameras, and audio controllers for the individual rooms. At some point, I also installed the speakers and ran speaker wires to them. At some point in the future, I will be doing a full overview of all the smart tech in the house. I cannot stress how important it is to test your Ethernet runs, especially if you're going to bury them in insulation. With the ceiling complete, it was time to purchase the insulation. Home Depot gives this machine to you for free if you purchase enough insulation. With the insulation and the ceiling complete, it was time to purchase more sheetrock, this time about 3 times as much. It was not fun to carry this in, but let's do it 30 more times. And here are some obligatory time lapses of sheetrock being put up. And of course, I can't say I did something if I don't have video proof of me doing something. So here's video of me doing something. I ran some conduit in our master closet so that I could eventually run some cables for a TV. Just 10 days after passing our frame inspection, the monumental day had arrived, and we were now ready to join our existing house with the addition. And now for a quick tour of the addition. So here we have the half bath, and just to the right of that we have the first bedroom. Next to the half bath is the laundry. Across from the laundry is the master bedroom. This is the walk-in closet for the master suite. And finally, here's the master bathroom. After completing the upstairs, the drywall was then installed in the basement. This is the entrance from the existing house into the addition. Due to the messy nature of mudding and sanding the drywall, I was unable to record any footage.